A terror suspect is being held without bond after his arrest last month, but not before, roaming freely throughout the United States for 2 weeks.
Authorities say the man entered the U.S. illegally on October 3rd and days after he was released. Homeland Security revealed he was wanted in his home country for terrorist activities.
This as a caravan of 7,000 migrants that was headed for the southern border is now stopped in Mexico, according to sources. Many are just too tired to keep walking. Well, here to react is Fox News contributor and former acting ICE director, Tom Homan. Tom, it is so scary to think that this terrorist was, who knows, coordinating with a terror cell for 2 weeks before we actually caught him. What is going on? How come with the terror alert so high, the fire alarms aren't going on for the Biden administration at this moment?
Look, first of all, this isn't the first time this happened. This has happened before. And the reason it's happening is because the Border Patrol is under such pressure to process as quick as possible and release as quick as possible. Because this administration only cares about the optics of this crisis. If there's no overcrowding, there's nothing to see here. So they're in intense pressure. That's why they keep sending more resources to the border, not to enforce the law, not to secure the border, but to process quicker and release quicker. And mistakes are going to be made. But what concerns me more are the 1.7 known gotaways. That's what scares me more. Who are they? No one's going to tell me not a single one of that 1.7 million gotaways didn't come from a country that sponsors terror. We got to remember, Border Patrol's arrested people from 171 different countries. Many of these countries are sponsors of terror. They've arrested 569 known people off the terrorist watch list. So you've got to figure how many of the 1.7 million known gotaways came from a country sponsoring terror.
Tom, to your point, take a look. This is the terror watch list arrests at the southern border, 169 in fiscal year 2023, 98, 22, 15 and 21. You can go back to the Trump years, 306. That's, I've had somebody say to me before, Tom, come on, there was zero in 2019. People have said, is that real? And now we're looking at, plus, what was it, 120?
Well, it's more than that. You know what no one's talking about? The northern border. FY23, they arrested 432 people on the terrorist watch list was arrested at the northern border. Almost twice as many at the southern border. No one's talking about that. People need to understand the northern border, the crossings are up over 800%. They got very few Border Patrol assets up there, and they took 50% of them moving to the southern border. So the northern border is a huge vulnerability. But, after 9/11, here's people, how do you know? How do you know? After 9/11, we created all these databases, the TSA no-fly list, the FBI screening database, the visa security program. We stopped thousands of people from getting a visa, coming to the United States, because during the vetting process, we found derogatory information. However, if you're a terrorist today and you want to come harm the United States, you're going to take the route of least resistance. Why are you going to put yourself in a position to be vetted through all these programs when you simply get to Mexico, pay the cartels a little extra money, and be a getaway? That is what the scary thing is. This is the biggest, I've said it 1,000 times, this is the biggest national security failure that I've seen in this country since 9/11, and it's self-inflicted.
No doubt. Well, the Biden administration now says it's going to spend $950 million on some border wall repairs. So you got to be feeling good about that.
This isn't, I feel good about that, but people need to remember they want to keep throwing money at this problem and pay countries more money to create opportunity zones in the country. Money doesn't fix this problem. It is a policy issue. All they got to do is brush off the Trump plans, reinstate Remain in Mexico. Supreme Court already says it's legal. If they reinstate the Remain in Mexico program, they fix 80% of the problem. If they restart up the third safe country agreements, they can solve this problem. There is a plan in place. Trump administration proved it. Illegal immigration at a 45-year low. Illegal immigration down 83 to 90%, depending on what month you look at. There is a plan to fix it. We proved it. All they got to do is reinstate these plans and secure that border. But they don't. Yep. They don't want to do it because this is by design.
It's by design. And thank you for pointing out that this is not a money problem. The Republicans right now are still trying to attach border money to Ukraine money and pretending like, and all it's going to do, as you said, is just give more money for the Biden administration to process more illegals in our country. Tom, you've always been such a straight shooter on this issue. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.